They record. You can chat on it.
Hey, Danielle, what are you rocking over there today?
Oh, I'm rocking the new Ray-Bans, the new Meta Ray-Bans. I mean, do I look cool or what?
That's debatable, but we'll figure it out. But are these Ray-Bans, are they gonna bite it or are they gonna be something amazing?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, it depends on the look and the feel and really like how this is either helping my situation or hurting it. I mean, I think I look cool. I feel a little cool, but it's a wearable. And so we're talking about wearables and we're talking about technology wearables. And I love a good gadget. I mean, I think everyone knows I live on Amazon. I buy gadgets all day. I love a good gadget. And I got a new gadget that I feel like isn't out there yet. It hasn't taken off as much as I thought. But these are wearables. They're glasses. Uh,
Okay.
from a bite perspective, let's take a bite of it. They record. You could chat on it, right? So I can have a full conversation and you can hear background noise, which is a positive. I could listen to music and my AirPods aren't in, which the AirPods are annoying because I constantly lose one, just one, not two. I do feel like there's features and functionalities they can improve on, like, and we could go into it, but from like a fashion perspective, I think they're cool. I know there's ones that the glass changes colors, which would be cool. Because I like to actually work out with these more than I like to work out with AirPods. I don't know. What do you think? Have you like the app works great, the platform works great. I'm into it.
Yeah, I think it's all about experience. And for those of you who haven't guessed, we are checking out
We're
the wearables today. So yeah, no, I think it's all about the experience. That's really what it comes down to. And really what we have to do is back up a little bit and talk about what we think the dream is, because for me, and I can tell you the dream from my perspective, I don't know if this is the dream from everybody else, but from my perspective, I always wanted to wear something on my face that I could just stare at somebody and they would give me like all the information, like Minority Report style, right on there. So I'm not really good at memory. Like I'll meet you like 5 different times before I actually learn your name.
Well, it's
So
hard. That's a hard. First of all, we meet a lot of people. I mean,
yes, we do.
so someone taught me a trick once because I have a really good, I can remember a lot of facts, but your name is not one of the facts
I
that for
agree.
some reason doesn't stick out in my head. Someone said when you meet someone, you should say it like 3 times. So they're like, "Hi, Bob. It's nice to meet you. It's nice meeting you, Bob. I hope to see you again, Bob." And if you do that, supposedly you can remember their name. So maybe you should try it.
And
Um,
just to let you know, I may or may not have dated somebody when I was younger that I didn't know her name for like the first 4 days.
how'd you figure it out?
I just had to do a little bit of sleuthing because I wasn't going to admit after like the third or fourth date that I didn't know her name
Oh
whatsoever.
my God. Okay. You know what? You know what? We don't know her name now,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she's never going to know this conversation. So
Yep.
we're all good.
We're all
We are
good.
all
But yeah, I mean, so I think the dream is that it works into your lifestyle somehow. So it's not obtrusive. It's something
good.
that
It's
you
going to
could
be a
wear in your yeah, it's something that you wear in your face that has a good user experience. And what that means is that it fits into your lifestyle. It fits into what you would normally do, your normal routine, your normal everything. And it does that in a way that gives you some kind of enhancement to what you would normally do. So
It
that's what I
doesn't
think the
feel
dream
like
is.
like when you're at the gym and you see someone with AirPods in, aren't you like, they're not listening to anything else but themselves. The reason
Yeah.
I like something that's more multifunctional is that I can hear music, but I can also hear what's going on around me. And I
Do you
think
need to hear what's going on around you at the gym? Because I feel like at the gym, I'm in my personal space. I don't even want to be bothered at the gym. I don't know.
I mean, I find the gym a little bit more social. So
Okay.
we just come from like two different perspectives. My gym is small. A lot of people know each other and they do like come up and talk to you. And you're like, wait a minute, I got to take my AirPod out. Like it is kind of annoying. So the glasses kind of work that multifunctional. But going back to like what you were asking about, like, what's your dream device? Yeah, if I looked at someone, I would love for something to tell me more information so I could like spit up a conversation. Like I think we're all so secluded, but we have to figure out a way to open up more than just social media. Like, unless you're like recognizing someone, which is probably not going to happen half the time, like unless they're like super famous, there's got to be another way or another barrier to this of talking and chatting and meeting. There's got to be. I don't know. Someone should develop.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, it's a good point. I am one of those people that wear the AirPods to the gym, but the problem with it is that I'm working out. I'm doing I'm working out, and
first of all, you've been working out for like a month, so he's like,
I don't know. I think I'm doing okay though. But whenever I lean back, I always have an AirPod fall out. So that's always a thing. So, it is nice in one respect, to have something like glasses that probably won't fall off while you're working out. So that is a definite plus.
Right. But they did promote the fact that you could like FaceTime someone, but it has to be on the Meta app. So that means it has to be on the FaceTime app.
But it's audio only.
No, they could see what you're seeing.
Oh, they can see but you can't see them.
Correct.
Yes.
That's right. So you could use the camera. So there's little cameras, you guys, if you could see.
Yeah. So what she's denoting, she's showing off the very stylish glasses with the little cameras on the left and right.
Yeah. Right. And the way that you know that it's activated is it does light up. But here's the thing. I was out to dinner and I saw like an older guy, which looked like had the glasses on. So in my head, I was like, oh, he's probably like part of the tech industry. Is this the new like tech, industry gadget, like the Oura Ring? Is this like kind of the new, like, oh, you're part of the cool crowd? Or, we think that we're part of the cool crowd. So I was like wondering, and then and it was hard to see if he had the glasses on. So I was like, so maybe there needs to be like some kind of reflective piece like on it to like kind of make sure that that it could record, or like there was really no way to tell if he had the glasses on or not. And I was kind of laughing. Was he sitting at dinner with the glasses on, like not paying attention to anyone else? Because you could totally listen to music and no one would know. Like no one can hear you. So it's actually great, but does it make us more introverted? Does it make us less like being able to communicate because there's really no clear indication that they're being used? Like if I had music on, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah. So I guess what are you finding the killer app or the feature besides music? Obviously Zuckerberg came out and he said that these are the new AI device. This is a new AI device. So he's actually reclassifying it now as an AI device. And so what do you use those features? What do you find the killer app for this is?
Well, I tried to use the killer AI to tell me which slot machine I should play at in the casino, and it failed. No, but from like an AI perspective, we all have like, think about all the AI engines, right? You talk to Alexa, she doesn't give you the right answer half the time. No. Sorry, Alexa. You talk to Meta. Does that device give you the best, answer all the time? So I think it's like truly about all the information and data it's collecting. I haven't found the true use case to use it for AI yet. Like, I mean, it's good to take a picture if I saw something I want to purchase and I want to remember, click the button, easy. Listening to music, it was great. Was it enhancing anything? Not yet, no. So I just don't know how maybe AI is really going to help.
Well, I think that what they showcase a lot of times for all these AI things, the big use case so far is like taking a look at your food and saying, how many calories is this? Or taking a look at the food and saying, what kind of meal could I make with ingredients? Like those are the things they're kind of showing right now.
I don't cook.
Yeah. Or looking at a place or something and saying, what is this place? Or can you tell me the food? Or,
Right. I feel like I guess those are good use cases, but I just don't know if I would pick up the glasses, look in my refrigerator and be like, what should I cook for dinner? I don't think there's anything in my refrigerator that could actually make it. So again, I understand that part, but are wearables cool? Like, if you saw someone wearing these glasses, would you know that they were the Ray-Ban Meta glasses? Like,
what would be the effect of that? Like I remember when Google Glass first came out, and I actually had a pair of Google Glass. And, you would go to places and people would look at you funny because you had these weird glasses. So I think that the good thing about them is that they're unobtrusive and people
They
won't
are.
even notice.
And they look like sunglasses.
They
That
look like
is cool.
sunglasses,
That
and they
is
don't look
cool.
like anything big.
Right.
And so that's really nice. I mean, they're not, they're not video, which I think is one of the detractors of it. But I guess it depends on what your need is in using them. If you don't need that, then it could be good for information. Maybe maybe you're in a meeting and you need to know something, and you're like real quickly like, okay, let's
And you go
figure
back
that.
to the lens color though. Does it look like I have sunglasses on, or does it look like I have glasses on? Like,
Yeah.
if I'm indoors and wearing these, do I look like, what is she doing? Because those are the looks I was getting in the gym.
That's a good
It
point.
wasn't, I wasn't getting, and then I had people like ask me what they were. And I was like, once I explained it, they were like, that's awesome, but it's not out in the market yet like that. I don't think so. And the case is cool. Look, the case has this like charging port.
So the case looks like a regular Ray-Ban case with like a charging port in it, just for the listening people out there.
Yeah, it's got a charging port in it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's why I was kind of asking you like what your thoughts were if you saw someone wearing them in the gym. I think again that dual communication piece is awesome. I think for taking a picture is awesome. But when I went to go video my son like with swim, which was a better view than me holding the phone, the video wasn't lasting that long.
Yeah.
So like I think it's great, but they still have a ways to go.
Yeah, that would be better for something like Snapchat or something like that only takes like 5 seconds of video, or something.
Correct.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And so I could upload, right? And so Meta, of course, you can upload right from the glasses right to social media, but then, obviously there's steps there. I'm just not putting all that data into Meta, into Meta's cloud yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And there's privacy issues to that. I mean, as we get more and more into this, wearables are something that requires less privacy, demands less privacy, and requires more information. So you have to be comfortable with that level of privacy, before using these types of things.
I mean, it is a good point. I feel like that ship has sailed. The train has run off the tracks. I feel like that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Like from a privacy standpoint, I'm like, I'm probably an open book. I mean, I'm probably pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, not from like a social media standpoint, from data gathering. Like, do you ever read the privacy when you click the privacy statements? Do you actually read the small print?
Yes, whenever I want to feel like I want to commit suicide is when I read the small print on that, because that's basically what it would do.
Let's ask it. Should I ask it? Here, let's see.
All right. So what are you going to ask it? I hear the music, by the way.
You heard the music?
I did.
It's very loud. Hey, Meta, what is your privacy statement for Meta glasses and uploading data?
Oh, it's telling you to look online. It's saying F
it's
that.
telling you to go to the app on the MetaView Help Center, to be exact. But the guy's voice is very soothing.
Well, that's good. That's good. If I have a stressful day, I could talk to him,
You can, but he doesn't talk back. Like most guys, they don't talk back.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I don't know. Did we check it out that way? I mean, we definitely found some pieces that work and don't work. And I think there's more to come on the wearables.
Well,
let's
talk a little bit about, because MetaConnect was last week, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So MetaConnect was last week, and they brought out the Orion glasses, which have nothing to do with Ray-Ban.
First of all, I agree. I do think that was misleading, like marketing in a bit. If you read their marketing pitch, Ray-Ban was mentioned with the other glass. So and maybe Meta is just taking the approach of like, hey, we're marketing glasses. Like this is our glass go to market. But to me, I thought that the manufacturer behind the Orion glass, which Orion has a name with Ray-Ban, was Ray-Ban.
Yeah, well, just to let you know, for the listening audience, we had a major disagreement. Like, we almost broke up this podcast over this. That
I still think I'm right, but
yeah, and Danielle insisted she was right, but you're not going to out-tech me. Come on. But anyway, so the Orion glasses came out, and Orion is this really, really, like, it's what I dream of, but it's not there yet. It's $10,000 just for the developer edition of it right now. So it's not something that's going to be mass produced, but it has holographic 3D kind of
How much is it?
project, $10,000 for the developer edition right now. It's not fully, it's a whole thing. It's a whole kit. And
That you could develop on their glasses.
yeah, it's meant for like partners right now to kind of create apps, but it is the future. I mean, it's definitely what I dream of. It's putting that picture right in front of you with a large field of view, or larger than it's been, and it's actual AI glasses with an AI engine, and it's getting closer to what I dream of. So I think it's pretty cool, but it's still very bulky. It still looks like, I mean, you can't mistake these for a regular pair of glasses. This is going to look like you're wearing a strange pair of glasses.
I think if AI needs to be broad stroked, and it's they have to meet form, function, and functionality. I think that the the Apple glasses with those big things, it was just so awkward and not a great wearable design. Like, if you're gonna go to market, it's got to be wearable, it's got to be cool, and it's got to be made for indoor outdoor. Like, I would be like, those are my top requirements. And can I change the color? Like, how do you know it's going to go with every outfit? Like, I understand that us tech people always wear like t-shirt and jeans. Well, make them blue then. Like, go with the color blue. Just keep it simple.
Yeah, so anyway, I have coming towards me in next month is these things called visors. And for those of you that don't know, Visor is a company by Immersed. So Immersed is this 3D kind of immersive environment for doing work. It puts the screens up in front of you. It's on right now. It's on Meta. It's on Apple Vision Pro. It's on it's on all the different VR platforms. But then what they said is, you know what, we need something to be a lot lighter and a lot higher resolution. So for me, I kind of like the idea of working in a virtual space. So Danielle, if you had a pair and I had a pair, we could be in the same room together working. We could even high five, and we could be in a cafe, or we could be in whatever it is that we want to be in. We could even do this podcast inside a virtual environment, which would be an insane thing to do. And and we could have our avatars showing each other, and that could be our video doing this. But so I think the dream is there, and we're getting closer to these dreams, but it just has to be more consolidated. It has to be more together. I mean, I think that I'm glad that Horizon is still a thing, because I really want this meta universe to work. And I think Zuckerberg is showing that it's actually making money now. It's actually doing things, so I think we're getting there. We're not there yet. I think we're still about 5 to 10 years out from being the dream.
And it's kind of funny and I don't know, we kind of talked about this. As you look at these companies like developing different strategies in AI, it makes you like think about where you want to post or what social media platforms you want to work with. So kind of like think through like where all their development is. I think that that's a key piece, even, for this podcast, who we want to work with, work behind. So there's a lot that goes into it. So as listeners, you guys see these developments happening, take a look at them, read the news articles, see where their placement is. I think what they're realizing is they need help from manufacturers that have been in the business for a long time. And there's a lot of superior companies that have. I think the tech companies need to work with, other different silos in retail or whatever they need to do to develop. I think you can't develop tech people. I don't think we should be developing this.
Well, it's all about the user experience, because there's been some awesome products that seemed awesome on paper, but then with the user experience, when you get it, just looks like it's horrible. I mean, AI pin, unfortunately, is one of those things. I thought it sounded awesome. You could put this AI pin on here. It would display the graphics on your palm when you put it in front of you, and it would answer AI questions with a little camera. But in usage, everybody that's used it, and this is widely posted online, has had horrible experiences. The AI didn't work right. They had the wrong responses. It was a little bit weird when you're using your hand, you couldn't get it in the right space. The touch on your fingers would be weird when you're trying to figure out, how to touch the right spot on your palm. So there was just a lot of implementation issues. So I think that what we have to be cognizant about is the fact that we're trying to make something that's useful, but it has to be useful in real life too.
Yeah. Because it's kind of, well, listen, I mean, it's like we go back to this electric car. Like, if you're not tech savvy, it's hard to use. It's hard to go find. And an outlet to charge your car. Like I think people think that technology is easy to use, and sometimes it's just not. Like
Yeah, but I also think there's also a fear of technology. Sometimes it's way
you
easier
do?
than you think too. I think that people fear it, but if it's implemented well, if it kind of works in your life. If it's not something that has a good UI or a good user experience, then that's what makes it difficult. To me, say what you want about Tesla. You could either love them or hate them. But what they do really well is they have a really good user experience. Like, you don't have to think about things. It's more like that Apple
Listen, I
experience.
think that Tesla was one to break down barriers and do it right.
Yeah,
I don't think we're saying, but not every company is built like Tesla. That's the
of
problem.
course.
And so when people have bad user experiences, it's just because there's other, players in a market that don't all play even, right? And so why is there a million Teslas on the road?
Yeah.
Because, it works well. I mean, it's just like there's many platforms that you probably love, and there's just functionality of it that doesn't work well. They're behind like major companies and it still doesn't work well.
Hmm.
So I think it's just where we are in the industry. We don't know what checks and balances these companies go through when they go to market. We don't know. We don't. You've seen and I've seen a million thousand technology mistakes, and we're still going to see 1,000 more.
Yep.
You're right. Should people stay away from it? No, but it happened. I have a login that will function from the functionality perspective, won't let me in. And and from the phone to the device, something's wrong. It's probably my caching, it's probably something like that, but it's frustrating. I mean,
And
it's
that's what loses people is when you get frustrated with stuff. That's what uses people. Listen, I'm at this point in my life where if a restaurant doesn't have an app to order, I'm not calling them. Okay, because I don't want to deal with people.
well, isn't that what DoorDash is?
Yeah, that's well, I mean, if there's no way to do it digitally,
Oh, no.
yeah.
I don't even think I would know about that restaurant. Forget the fact I wouldn't even know its name.
Yep. Yeah, I
And,
mean, that's
I think we're at that level. I mean, listen, I've operationally managed my life, like from pre-made meals to my clothes being delivered to any gadget to make my life easier. I mean, I got my kids like neon signs, and I live in a smart home. And I was like, oh, I have to go buy 2 smart outlets so I don't keep this thing just running.
yep.
Like if I can't, and I'll buy it that has Apple or Alexa, capabilities and compatibilities that works in my home. Like I go to that level, like
Yeah.
make it easier for yourself.
I mean, how many times do you leave the toaster oven on and then you go away? You have to be able to switch that off,
Yeah. I mean, my house, I can't, thank God. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, and your light's on. I don't want to pay the
Yeah.
electric bill.
Yep.
I
It's
mean,
very expensive these days.
yeah, like, so the fact that you could just shut it all off from the click of a button, I mean, those things are out there. Use them. They're
Yeah.
fun, easy. So some
So
things I think of it, actually thinking through that for a second, though, I feel like our home technology is more advanced than our wearable technology.
yeah, wearables is still something that is
Yeah.
very, very. It's been around for a while, but it's still in its infancy.
I agree. You know
Yeah.
what? I agree. And I think, I saw that Home Depot just came out with their home automation system working with manufacturers. I feel like just these tech companies need to work with manufacturers. I think that's the name of the game. Work
Yeah,
with people that are
absolutely.
already in the business
Yeah,
that
I mean,
know this. Yeah.
going back to Visor for a second, I mean, they worked with Qualcomm to get this stuff out the door. They had to work with a company.
Yeah.
They actually said, and it was funny because I was watching the keynote the other day for it, and they actually said, we didn't want to build this. It's just that we went to all the manufacturer, we went to Meta, we went to all these people to see if they would build it, and then we would just create the software, but nobody wanted to do it. So we actually went to Qualcomm and decided to build it ourselves. So
So I wonder why is there so much apprehension when like our stoves are connected, and where is the disconnect? I wonder where is it the AI piece? Because you would think that the wearables, like there's not that many, I don't feel like there's that
I
many
feel like
wearables on the
hardware's
market. As
yeah,
much as if we're thinking about this, HVAC systems are connected, lights are connected, my garage door is connected. Why are our wearables so far behind?
Maybe that's it. Maybe because there's not a common infrastructure for wearables. Everybody's designing their own things. Everybody redesigns. So there's different operating systems. There's different, different ways to, yeah. So really it has to be more standardized, I guess, because then you would start to iterate on that stuff. But
Maybe
everybody's
Meta
doing
needs
their
to
own
work
thing.
with Home Depot.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I think they should go to Home Depot, figure out the materials that you need, and build a better wearable.
My gut is that Home Depot will not be successful in this. You heard that first, but I think that Home Depot is not the right company to do this. And
so in Home Depot's, I'm going to give a plug for Home Depot just for a second. The reason that it might work is they're not going after the high-end market. They're going after the middle market, right? And the middle market is different kinds of plugs and lights. Like it's not with Lutron, it's their devices. And it's not hard. It's been developed already.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily, I think there's a lot of people that want home automation, and they're taking, a foot in the door. I would have to pay. It's not a hard platform. I mean, Google did it. Amazon does it.
It depends on the implementation, and that's what it comes down to, so it really depends.
Yeah. Also, how fast these devices connect, right? Like, when you set them up, is it easy? I bought something that was not easy, and I'll throw it away. It's not expensive at this point, too. Like, you could kind of test that. You could test devices. And someone asked me the other day, like, oh, we need an electrician to tell us what platform to use. And I said, an electrician is not going to tell you the platform that you're going to tell the electrician what platform you want. I'm like, you have to pick the platform that you want in your home. It's the same idea. And I mean, maybe that you and I are going back to that conversation. You kind of want to standardize on a platform, especially even, as we think through this a little bit more. So
yeah, absolutely. So I think we've fully teched out.
I think we did tech it out. I mean, we went full circle on and got to, we talked about Home Depot, Ray-Ban. I mean, we gave you guys a lot of info and a lot of good stuff to think about.
Yeah, I mean, what does everybody think about wearables? Where do you guys think it is? I think that's the conversation to have. I mean, feel free to comment and to kind of let us know what you think about wearables at this point.
Wait, Mike, where does everyone reach us? Like, how do they get in touch with us now?
They can get in touch with us at the Techin' Out handle, or on the podcast site, or on the handles at any of the socials that you're on, typically on Twitter and LinkedIn and some other platforms.
Instagram, we're Techin' Out Podcast. Yeah. You guys can send us a DM or find us on LinkedIn. I'm Danielle Hirschman.
And I'm Michael Chenitz.
And we're Techin' Out today. And let's bite it.
All right.